Thanks, Kaylee, for that update. Coming up for our next guest here, we have Nick Oliver of Metaphor. And Nick, thanks so much for joining us this morning.
Yeah, thanks for having me. How's it going?
Doing well over here, Nick. I'm excited to get to chat with you because we're talking about the best time to bring in outside help. And we're excited to jump into this conversation with you.
Definitely.
So, Nick, when we're thinking about the different aspects of bringing in outside help, I mean, there's so many things to take into consideration, whether it's going to be worth the time and the payback, if you're going to get your value out of it, if there's actually going to be any value in it, if it's going to be less of an effort just to train in-house. So, can you talk to us about when the best time is to look into bringing in outside help?
Yeah, sure. There's numerous reasons why a company may want to consider utilizing outside help. A few that we often see with our clients include one, staff augmentation. So clients often do not have resources available to assist with long, complex projects due to the day-to-day tasks that they are already responsible for. Outside help can also provide a specific skill set that a company does not have via their internal resources. Another can be providing objectivity. So we are often asked by our clients to tell them what they need to hear versus what they want to hear. And an objective third party can help make difficult decisions that are not emotionally based. Decisions such as these can pay dividends due to the neutral stance that an outside perspective brings. And then last, initiating change. So with regards to initiating change, Metaphor has done extensive work in the T&L space and has a strong understanding of industry trends and best practices. This is useful for clients who may not have adequately adapted over time or need assistance with reacting to sudden changes in market conditions.
Now, I've got to think, Nick, good morning, by the way. Nice to see you on with us.
Good morning.
I've got to think that a lot of when it comes to seeking outside help, sometimes it's just you've got so much going on with your business that the people who are in-house literally can't handle it. Like they cannot put more on their plates, even when that's being demanded of them from either their clients or just their business structure overall. And there are specific companies, even within the trucking and logistics space, that really work hard to provide opportunities not only for the business, but for outside staffing. And thinking of like Lean Solutions Group is one that comes to mind right off the top of our heads. So when we talk about that and kind of the decision to look outward for staffing help, how can companies like Lean Solutions really help provide that solution, no pun intended, when we're talking about seeking out the opportunity to provide that outside help?
Yeah, definitely. Just speaking a little bit about what outside help can assist with. It's somewhat of a trick question that at the surface when answered can seem broad or high level just because there's a few different directions that you can take it in. But outside help will typically take some time to learn about a client's business, to understand what pain points they're trying to solve or aspirations that they're trying to achieve. Once that evaluation is complete, examples of how outside help can assist a business include assessing current state operations and designing new processes, organizational structures or operating models, helping set a future state vision and detailed strategy to grow the business and ensure continued success, or assisting with the design and implementation of new solutions. When working with our clients, we often see implementation as the sleeping giant. No matter how good the solution is, if there's poor implementation, the company involved will not realize its full value. So we just want to make sure that we're keeping that in mind when going throughout that process with our clients.
And Nick, when we're thinking about bringing in outside help, how do you calculate the ROI on that investment?
Yeah, definitely. In simple terms, we would first identify the KPIs that we're trying to impact as a result of our work, and then measure a baseline of those KPIs at the start of the engagement. In the case of a long-term transformation style project, we would quantify the impact to the relevant business areas 6 to 12 months after we've implemented the relevant solutions. And then with regards to a strategy-focused engagement where we are recommending a course of action, measuring outcomes is slightly different. We would first identify growth metrics that are important to our client's business. Some examples include cost to serve, customer acquisition, growth rate, revenue. These metrics are likely to move based off of the strategy and initiatives identified, and the recommendations can be closely tracked once corresponding actions are taken.
When you're looking to bring out outside help for your business, it can be kind of like almost like the Goldilocks effect, right? Like this bed is too big, this bed is too small, this bowl of porridge is way too hot. How do you go about trying to try on different companies for size and finding the right fit for your company? Is it that trial and error? And do you have kind of the time and the flexibility to try out these multiple options? Or should you go from a list of people that you think have the best chance and then go through that way?
Yeah, I would say it definitely depends on the situation. But when scoping an initiative or project, we advise our clients to discuss outcomes and not just the deliverables. If you enlist help that is too general in their delivery, the work may not have a substantial impact on your business as you previously intended. It's also essential to partner with consultants that have experience working within your industry and success stories, solving similar issues or pain points that you're currently trying to address. At Metaphor, we see as one of our core differentiators that we structure our delivery teams to pair traditional management consultants with individuals that have extensive industry experience. So you get both sides of the house. You have consultants that understand how the deliverables and the process should be put together, and then individuals that also, with their industry experience, are able to provide insights into what is going on in the market.
And Nick, can you talk to the effect of really being able to build out a go-to network when bringing in outside help? It kind of takes me back to my aunt who always says, oh, I got a guy for that. Oh, I got a guy for that. Oh, I got a guy for that. Can you talk to some of the networking advantages for this?
Yeah, I would say it's definitely a word by mouth business. If you have others in the industry that have a similar business model to you or are experiencing similar issues, definitely reach out to them and see who they've spoken to in the past, what type of roadblocks they've had when speaking with outside help, and then what they've done to overcome those roadblocks. It's definitely great, to be able to reach out to those in your network and see where some of their success stories come from, and then also if they've had any issues, what the root of those were.
Last question, Nick, before we let you go. Have you seen any kind of companies almost holding on to trade secrets when it comes to seeking this outside help? Or is there more of a willingness to share kind of the good players and the bad players in the space?
I think that there's definitely a willingness to share this. Obviously everybody wants to talk about their success stories, in one way or another. But if there is a bad experience here or there, that might come up in conversations over time. I think word does get around in a sense, but if a company such as ourselves or another has good work with great people supporting that, I think that'll eventually get out as well.
Awesome, Nick. Thanks so much for being here. It was great having you on. Always good to have Metaphor here on FreightWaves Now.
Awesome. Thanks, everyone.
All right, we're going to do Isaiah Buchanan right now. He's got our first look at Social Roundabout for the morning.